And so Reich developed a way to concentrate this energy, and he called it an orgone accumulator. And when you layer metal and organic material together in several layers, it accumulates this energy and then broadcasts it back out.
Wow.
Okay, so somebody else discovered that if you put some metallic particles in catalyzed resin, it has a stronger effect. Also, this material can't be corrupted. You can put this stuff in a microwave oven and it won't even get warm because it's changing that microwave energy into life force.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, anybody can do this experiment. Now, it's metal. It should heat up, right?
Right.
But it doesn't. And here's another thing. If you have some on your pocket and you go to a metal detector, it'll shut off the metal detector. We have a lot of fun with that in airports.
I bet
we never
you
take our metal off. Yeah, we never take our metal off.
So you've got some kind of an Orgon generator type thing in your Terminator Zapper.
Yeah, this little block of this material, the metal and resin that I spoke about, is called Orgonite. Well, we call it that. Carl Weltz invented the term. He got pretty mad at me when I spilled the beans about 1998 and started telling people how it was made. When I found out what it could do, I had to tell everybody.
And does the fact that you've put in this low millivolt, low resonance into the body, that gets this Orgonite energy into the body? Yeah,
what it does is, some people call it an orgone generator, but really what it does is it concentrates this energy, and if there's any bad energy around, it transmits that energy into healthy energy.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is something Reich didn't know about yet. And in the old accumulators that Reich built, they could be corrupted with the presence of what he called deadly orgone radiation, which is what creates smog. It creates sickness in the body. It's the bad stuff. But Orgonite changes the bad stuff into good stuff.
Well, you gotta love that.
And the more bad stuff is around, the stronger the good stuff comes out.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's amazing. Really amazing.
Now, have I heard people that actually go out and buy these orgone generators?
Yeah, you heard about that?
Yeah, I mean, do they work?
Okay, well, that's where it came from, Carol. They started promoting this stuff in 2001.
Oh, do you guys make those too?
Yeah, we're the ones that popularized it. As I said before, Carl Weltz was selling these things for $500, and $2 or $3 worth of material, but he wouldn't tell anybody what was in it. So, in 1998, a Zapper customer of mine said he bought one of these things, and he was just furious because he scratched the surface, and all it was metal particles and epoxy, and he was so mad. But I thought, wow, this may be what I'm looking for.
Right. That's funny.
And I'll have to say, Carl Weltz has gone on to develop some pretty amazing stuff and radionics equipment. He doesn't like us at all, but I have to say he makes some pretty good stuff.
Oh, so he's still around?
Yeah. I went to see him in 2003 because he was saying some bad things about me, and I wanted to clear the air, so I went to his house in Atlanta, and I said, I want to talk about this. And at the end of the conversation, he said, okay, I realize you're not trying to undermine me by sharing that information. So I said, okay, we'll be friends then, right? He said, yeah.
Yeah, clear the air.
But you know what? Most inventors are very proprietary, and most inventors are going to want to put their own terminology on something. Carol and I don't do that. We're very happy to give credit to all the people who went before us. And
well, it's difficult to give anything away because it just keeps coming back. So you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how that works.
And it's good for business, really, to be very honest with people and not to make any claims that you can't back up.
Right. Now, then on your Terminator, if you just joined us, we're talking with Don, and Carol is there too. We had two phones going, but hers was not.
You know what? I'm going to try to fix up this speakerphone so she can talk too. But
yeah. Well, let's try. I know, because she's got a big.
I couldn't have done this without her.
Oh, I know. She's the energy one, right? She's the energy guru.
Well, she's psychic. She sees energy. She's very accomplished. Okay. Are you going to have a commercial break?
No, we don't do that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, let me hang on just a second.
But I could tell folks about.
I'll get my manual out just a second. Go ahead.
And then on Friday, very exciting guest. I don't know if you guys have heard about him, Don and Carol, but this fellow who brought MMS out to the forefront, Jim Humble, is going to be on from Mexico. And he's got that miracle mineral supplement that I think is just wildly pretty, wildly cool. Have you guys heard about that?
I'm not sure I've heard about that in particular. There's an awful lot of good stuff out there right now, though.
This stuff, he was in Africa, and they documented success, you all, with over 100,000 malaria people. And it's just a few drops that you mix with citric acid and put it in water, and it's dirt cheap. That's the beautiful thing. This guy is...
Well, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $20 for a year and a half supply of it, right?
Zappers cure malaria, but that's a lot cheaper than Zappers. And most of the Africans can't even afford the batteries, so...
Yeah, well, this may work, too. You know, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm after parasites, I'm going to pull out all the heavy artillery. I'll do Zappers. I'll do Hana Kroger's wormwood, you know. I'll just go after them, man. Anyway, this miracle mineral stuff is very cool. He actually puts his recipe in his book, and you're going to love this. In the beginning of the book, he puts that if I am missing for 2 weeks, all of my material and research and all that becomes public domain, or if I'm found dead, then the same thing happens. And so he's in Mexico, kind of laying low, so...
That's a good spot.
You can understand that, right? Yeah. So he's going to be on Friday at 7 o'clock, so that's exciting. Now, you also have magnets in the Zapper. What's the story on that? What do they do?
Well, here's the thing about magnets. They have electromagnetic properties, but they also have orgone properties. And a magnet is a piece of equipment where these two things are combined and work together. And notice that a magnet never loses its energy. This is one of the principles behind some of the free energy technology that's out there. Yeah. And anyway, a magnet creates a toroidal field, you know, constantly rotating from the center out and then back in. And that seems to move this energy into the body more efficiently. And we did a lot of tests with this stuff before we started marketing it. And
when you test, how can you test? Is it through Carol's sensitivity to energy and all of that? That's how you know, right?
Well, we start with that. She sees energy, and there are some people who can do that.
Oh, sure,
And she can determine the quality of the energy by the color, and so we aim for that. Then after she sees the process happening, we start testing it. And for instance, when she developed her harmonic protector, which is a pen that you wear near the heart, she used it on herself first, tested it, and then sent it out to 20 or 30 energy sensitives and asked for their feedback. And after that, she started making them to sell. It took several months. Plus, she researched all the other pendants that were out there to see which one worked, because she was being bothered by these new towers.
The cell phone towers?
Well, they call them cell phone towers, but there's no evidence that they're for cell phones. But they do produce a whole lot of deadly orgone radiation, and they can focus that energy on a location. Like if you're sitting in the bedroom, somebody else sitting in the living room, they can hit you and not that other person.
What kind? You said deadly orgone?
Yeah, death energy.
So it's the opposite of what we were talking about earlier with the Orgonite.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's why the Orgonite is so useful, because, you know, I put millions and millions of these towers up all of a sudden in the fall of 2001. Within about 6 months, they were all pretty much all up. And we saw them all over Africa, Asia, Europe. You can't go any place where these things aren't everywhere. And it all happened within a few months. And also they're on the seabed. We found these with our boat, sonar on the seabed, and other people have seen them too.
And you think that these are put up explicitly just to harm people by whoever the boys, as we call them?
Yeah, but I think it was an attempt to control the population. And I think it failed. It failed because people figured out how to disable them.
Now she's got a pendant or a pin of some type that will actually block or neutralize all the EMFs, mostly EMFs? Well,
EMF is one aspect of this energy I mentioned. It's not even the worst aspect. You can determine the presence of this energy with a trimeter.
Yes.
And which measures the EMF. but the energy itself is